How's it going, guys? Bring your platoon here, and welcome back to another great set of games. Well, okay, that's maybe an overstatement. Welcome back to another decent set of games in World of Tanks Xbox One Edition. Today, I'm going to be playing in the AMX M449 Egalite variation of the tank. I believe it has a slightly higher bonus for silver earning capability per battle, but this is the Tier 8 French premium heavy tank and the very first real quote-unquote heavy tank they put in for the French line on PC and console. And this thing, while its armor is very, very good for its tier, it has a lot of downsides. One, your aim time is absolutely crap, and the gun has terrible DPM as well as very bad dispersion values. Not absolutely terrible, but like bad enough that it'll make you want to shoot yourself every time you miss with the gun. You reload every 9-ish seconds, I believe. We'll see that correction in the gameplay soon, if I'm wrong. And that's even with the coffee, or whatever the premium consumable is. I run this thing with coated optics, a vertical stabilizer, and a gun rammer. Coated optics just to help me out with that view range a little bit. It doesn't need the boost in view range, but it is only 370, so I figured if I'm going to try and 3-mark this thing, I might as well get, or be able to outspot my own similarly tiered vehicles. So that's something. I don't know why I thought that would work, because the camouflage on this thing is to be expected of a heavy tank. Not great. Don't know what the value is for console version, but it's just not great being a heavy tank. The gun, however, has very decent penetration at 232 millimeters of pen for its AP rounds, and a measly 263 for its premium APCR rounds. The APCR rounds are what you're going to be firing a majority of the time. Although, I say that, you don't really need it, because if you're not going to pen with 232, the chances of you being able to pen with 263 millimeters of pen is just ever so slightly higher, and really won't make a difference in the long run. Unless RNG fucks you in the worst possible way. But, that's... yeah, that is what that is. The damage for the gun is also a 100mm gun, so it's going to be 300 damage per shot, except for the high explosive rounds, which get 50mm of penetration and deal 400 on average damage per penetration, instead of the standard 300. Dispersion values, they're lying to you, folks. I'm on tanks.gg right now. It says the dispersion is 0.36. I believe on console it's 0.37. I could be wrong. It feels like it's 0.38 or 0.39. It's pretty bad. Aim time is also not great. 2.9. It's a French vehicle, I get it, but Jesus Christ, Wargaming, I would be fine with 2.5, but Jesus, like, it's a heavy tank. Why does it have, I guess I don't get it. I don't understand. But its frontal armor is very reliable, as well as, trollish. Because if you angle your tank ever so slightly upward, you can get penned in your otherwise auto-bounce lower plate, which is pretty trollish for people. But, yeah. Not an auto-bounce on a flat angle, but it's pretty damn close. 262 millimeters of armor for the lower plate, 235 millimeters of protection for the upper plate, except for that little piece of track in the middle, which is 250 millimeters. So that's pretty great. If you use this thing to angle around corners, hiding the two left and right side pieces, then you're fine. But as soon as you try to angle like a normal tank, you'll equalize one of those plates, and they're auto bounce if you face people like face on, no angling of your tank whatsoever. But as soon as you angle, you equalize it, and it gets to around 180 millimeters of protection, which is not great. But yeah, the turret is also very reliable. I'm doing terrible things to this T-29, but I really shouldn't have face-hugged him, because this is the problem you run into with your whole, what is it, with your gun depression. It's a whole measly, oh wow, it has 10 degrees of gun depression. It doesn't fucking feel like it, but Maybe that's different in console, or maybe it's not and I'm just an idiot. But if people are shooting a high caliber gun at you, they can't overmatch. Maybe not. I was going to say they could overmatch the roof of your front end and your engine deck, but that's 45 millimeters, so that'll protect you against 122 millimeter guns, I believe. Yes. Yes, it will. So that's cool, but anything higher than that is a big no-no and can overmatch you. Not great. Also, your hatch, to be expected, is not very well armored. I believe even high explosive can go through this if they're tank destroyers. 60 millimeters of pen needed to go through the hatch. So that's not great. Luckily, the roof for the turret is an auto bounce. Flat on, the mantlet armor varies from 250 millimeters to 300 millimeters of protection. However, your turret ring is very massive in size, and from any angle, it just gets worse. Your best armor values for the turret ring are in the front, and that's a very even 250 millimeters of pen needed to go through that. To have a 50% chance of going through, I mean, but it is very big. I don't know why they needed to make the turret ring so fucking big. Maybe it's historically accurate. I don't know. But this tank makes fucking bank. It's easy to 3-mark. All you need is 2,300 damage per game to 3-mark this thing. On average, per game. Oh, it's so very funny. So yeah, if you're looking for a tank, there's better tanks out there to buy if you want a silver earning tank for tier 8. But if you want to buy this thing to try and 3-mark it, go right ahead. This thing, I guess it's so rare because the very similarly named AMX M449, you need 3,200 damage to 3-mark that, or to get damage every game to 3-mark that. So I guess it's just a rare tank. Maybe they didn't sell anymore, maybe you can't buy it anymore. So maybe you can only get the standard versions of the tank, and that's why there's such a big differential in damage for 3-marking it. But yeah, pretty funny that a tier 8 has such minuscule values for 3-marking, just based on rarity alone. Hilarious. But yeah, it's a French tank. Your side armor is garbage. You can side scrape in it, but it's not. It is 55 millimeters thick, so I guess it's kind of safe to side scrape. But if you over angle, they're just gonna hit your side left or right plates because you'll be equalizing that, and that's a big no-no. So yeah, I guess you could reverse side scrape in it, but that's not a good idea either. Or maybe it is. I don't know. Could you fucking pull that off? Let's find out. Yeah, you could. It'd be difficult to do, but you could do it. So that's cool. That poor AMX Chaffee. He had little to no chance. That's fine. He had a good run. I don't know what their arty is doing this game. I don't know what the fuck he was aiming at, but it sure as hell wasn't me. And I get to do this unpunished because their arty is going full on retard. I don't know why. I just like, I'm right out in the open. He could probably, if he's a tier 7 arty, he could probably very easily one-hit me if he high rolls me, or he could set me on fire. He could just basically take away a big chunk of my health in one shot. Because again, it's a French tank, and if an RD lands near you, it's going to take like half your health away, because RNG and Russia. But yeah, Wargaming hates French tanks, and this tank is no exception to that rule, because, again I say, if you fire the gun thinking that you're going to hit whatever you're aiming at, and it's like 400 meters or 300 meters away, be prepared for it to derp some very easy shots. It's very frustrating. I actually take back what I said earlier. I wouldn't recommend buying this tank if you can, or even the regular variant of it without the stupid blue, white, and red paint job on it. Although, if you buy this one, you get a free cock on your tank, so that's pretty cool. Or is that the Liberté? No, that's this tank. So funny. It's a rooster on your turret, and it just, I guess it makes the tank. I don't know. It's pretty fun. Pretty funny. But yeah, this is probably the most underwhelming third mark I've ever gotten. And yeah, I didn't get it by accident. I was actually trying to 3 mark this tank, but it's just it's whew, it's such a terrible piece of shit to play. It's not great. Like, I had to aim in on that arty for 3 or 4 seconds before my aim circle got as small as it could possibly be. Like, here we go. Yeah. And luckily the arty missed me. Oh, it's a French arty, so he'd probably have to hit me like 4 times for this tank to be destroyed. Or even less. Or more, I should say, because the French arties in this game suck, much like a lot of their tech tree tanks, but it's fine. I will stand by and say that the Foch line is fucking godlike. When you get the tier 8's okay, but the tier 9 and 10 is really where it's at. And considering they finally gave the Foch 155 the tier 9 armor buff, that was long overdue, huh? Yeah, it's actually a line worth it to go down now. Although it does suck that you are stuck with shit tanks until tier 8 when they actually get decent, but when you get there, it's like, oh my god, this is what I've grinded this for. But yeah, as far as the heavy tank line, the AMX M454, I like the tank a lot. It's very power creeped. It's not 3D modeled very well. It's pretty much an unfinished model because the weak points are on the fucking front of the tank, in the mantlet, in weird spots. It's stupid. It's crazy how Wargaming thinks a lot of these tanks are balanced in today's meta, but it's whatever. The game is over now, but I guess I'll just take this opportunity to just keep talking, because it's just what I do. Yeah. I was gonna say it's what I do best, apparently, but then I started flubbing my words and couldn't figure out English, so that is what that is. Can you guess where the fucking fatherland is hiding? Pay close attention to, oh, there he is. K5. He's going after the arty. What a champion. What a fucking champion. I bet he had a good game. He had to have, right? Because, I mean, he lasted the longest, so he had to have been contributing to his team, getting some damage, but we all know that's a falsity. That's a lie. What else to talk about? Not much. This is the game I got my 3rd mark in, and they were both pretty mediocre games as far as damage goes. And if I was in the Fatherland, I would expect like a 4K game to be a decent game. But if you're playing in this thing, or again, the regular quote-unquote variant of this tank, then I would... 3,500 damage is phenomenal. Because if people know where to shoot you and where the weak points on this thing is, they're available to shoot at all times. Your DPM is ass, your aim time is ass. They can shoot you and pop right back into cover before you have a chance to put a shot off, and it's very infuriating. As long as you don't move your turret and you're aiming in on them, then yeah, they're stationary, then you're good. But even then, RNG will be like, you're not going to hit this shot because you're a French tank. And it's infuriating when it happens, but it's World of Tanks. What do you want? Thank you guys for watching these 2 games. I hope you enjoyed my somewhat salty commentary and kind of monotone commentary in the first game. But thank you again for watching, and I'll catch you next time.